Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vigif Aliyev, and I'd like to give you everyone a warm welcome to our podcast, Diving Deep. And here we will be discussing the different problems and issues tackled by our youth. So, whatever solutions they might have and what perspective it is to them. Today I'm joined by three members of St. Kilian's Deutsche Schule, Donovan, Reece Macarulay, and Jake Nourse. Anyone else want to say something?
Thanks for having us on the podcast.
Okay,
thank you, Kilian Wally, for...
Shout out Kate Dempsey, supervisor.
Shout out Kilian Wally on the sound.
Thank you. Alright, fair enough. Okay, so first question, Jake. So do you think that by 2030 we could solve climate change? This was a topic in a concerned debate. Do you think that
By
it's possible?
2030.
Do you think that it will be solved?
So in 10 years,
Yeah.
I do not believe in 10 years that we'll be able to make a sufficient impact on the world in the next 10 years because of the big corporations that are really harming the earth. I don't think that it's just down to the people, like maybe not using straws. Maybe if a whole country doesn't use straws, that would work. But like if each household maybe doesn't use straws or recycles their plastic, that's not going to make a difference. It's the big corporations that are always burning and always throwing stuff into the sea and everything. So I do not believe that
You
we'll
don't
be able
believe?
to.
No, that's a fair opinion. What about you, Reece? What do you think?
Not by 2030, no, because same as him, like big corporation companies that try to help the environment and they're making big impact. So take like Tesla.
Yeah.
Like the car itself still takes a lot of it pollutes the environment itself, like making the battery, and it is better to buy a new car, like a used car, than a new Tesla, instead of buying like a 40,000 Tesla that like the battery is like, yeah.
No, I understand your point. So you think it's better to get a used car than like a new Tesla?
Yeah.
But Teslas are electric. Wouldn't that be more like environmentally friendly? Do you think?
Well, thank you, Perry Shang, because he did his project and he was telling me that the battery in the Tesla causes more pollution than the whole car's life.
Oh wow!
Like over 30 years.
Oh right. So actually, the battery itself causes more pollution in like production.
Yeah,
in terms
production.
of production. Oh, so then it's not really that
Yeah.
effective, isn't it?
It's just cheaper.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you think, Mark? Do you think we'll be solved by 2030?
I don't believe that by 2030, in 10 years' time, we'll have it solved. It's just unrealistic, especially the way they're talking about big corporations with places like China, for example, where there's lots of manufacturing and lots of factories, and they just don't have kind of regulations on it for trying to keep emissions low.
Yeah.
And even if they did, it'd be impossible to monitor because it's such a big place, and they're just trying to produce the cheapest goods, which we then buy. Because there's a high demand for it. So I don't think it's realistic at all that by 2030 it'll be solved.
But do you think it's our fault? Because we all know that in Ireland they ship their landfill. Well, I think recently China closed it down, but we all ship our landfill and our waste over to China for them to burn it and process it.
I was reading an article somewhere that I think it was like a small country somewhere, I can't really remember where, but they had...
India.
A small country. India. It was some kind of city-state where they were completely reliant of one... Singapore. Is it Singapore?
Yeah.
They were reliant of one... What are those things called that burn the places? Incinerator. Thank you. Incinerator. They were able to use energy, harness energy, and put that into the city to run the city. They were able to get enough by burning their waste, and they were also able to capture the emissions and release them into the air. But they were able to cut the amount of harmful emissions down by 50% at least. And it was really interesting. I don't understand why, places like Ireland where we've just built a new incinerator, why we don't have that in place where we can use it for energy and cut down on the emissions that we release. Because I can literally see that. Everyone can see all the smoke that comes out of that from miles away. It's such a big and such an ugly building as well. It's really bad.
But do you think so? How did they do it? Actually, that's pretty interesting. Like, do you know how they did it?
I have no idea.
No idea.
They were just able to like harness the heat that the incinerator produces by burning the waste, and they were able to turn that into electricity. I have no idea how.
Yeah.
But then they were also able to cut down, like take out a lot of the harmful emissions out of the smoke, and just release that back into the air, and it was just really good.
That's a really good option, because I mean, to be honest, like, what other options you have? Landfill?
I don't think there are, but there's like it was probably very expensive, but like cost or like keeping our earth nice and clean, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a choice. I think Singapore in general is really developed in terms of, like, I'm pretty sure they get solar energy from Australia and they just pipe it under the water.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good.
To power their city. But in terms of, I think everybody knows that climate is a problem, but nobody really does anything about it. Like, why do you think?
True.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I feel like for big corporations, for them to make a big change, it would cost a lot more money.
Yeah.
And for maybe smaller companies who are actually doing stuff to help with climate change, it's not really doing anything because they're so small. Even if they are making a change, maybe over years and years, it will make a change if all the small companies do. But by 2030, it definitely won't, unless the really big corporations actually spend more money.
They're only in it to make money, so like why would they invest so much money into something when it's not making them any money? Like, they have literally no reason to do it except for being like a good company and trying to promote it. But until people start, like, companies start actually doing it, and some of them are, and it's getting more common now, but it doesn't really make much of a difference when it's only a few companies and it's just not doing much.
And they all buy the cheap stuff to save money, which is even worse for the environment.
Yeah, it's just about profit.
It's all about profit. They
Yeah.
just want to make their money no matter what happens, because it won't really affect them. Most of the bosses, I'd say, in the big corporations won't be around when when we're older. It'll affect us more than them in like 15, 20 years. Whether they're...
So it's just all that money, basically, to be honest. I mean that's fair. Like, that's how they approach it. But like, obviously, so you guys believe that you need like cooperation from both all the companies and
from everyone.
Do you think that, go on.
The clients that buy the products, like, the only reason that companies are doing this is because there's a high demand for them. But if there's more of a demand for like good products where they've been well sourced and stuff, where it's not just cheap products, then they're gonna make more of that, which means that they save more emissions. So it's like the onus is on both the companies to provide the option, and then for the people to actually buy that option, so that it's able to be like produce more.
Well, the environmentally sourced, like the good sourced products are usually like expensive.
Yeah,
like in H&M, it's like 40 quid for like a sweatshirt.
Wow, that is expensive.
You buy 4 sweatshirts with that.
So it's because like it obviously takes a lot of effort to make it, but then they have to make also profit too at the same time. But in terms of business, say like there was a solution to, it would be really lucrative now if there's a solution to get rid of plastic. It would make a lot of money. It'd give you a lot of profit. Like, it's to get rid of plastic. They made like a bacteria or something that could eat plastic up or something.
I think there was a guy who actually designed something. I don't know if you told me. Someone told me. I think it was you, Philippe Aliev. Shout out to him telling me this. But he made a machine that could actually like collect all the plastic from the water. And like pick up all the plastic in the sea and clear out the oceans. But it just didn't get loads of publicity.
But why do you think that? Like, I mean, like, if you look at Greta Thunberg.
She's doing anything.
She's just sort of like annoying. But in fairness to her, she's raised so much awareness. But it's just through being annoying. But it works. Like, if it works, it works. But
what makes her? I mean, I personally am a big fan of her either. But like, what makes you really hate her?
Just the way she looks, really. No, she just has an annoying face.
And she gets famous by like all I see now scrolling through like TikTok or Instagram.
Does UNICEF want to hear this?
They want to hear her.
All I hear is people saying, like, making jokes about her Because
Yeah.
sometimes people get famous by that. Like Elon Musk
Musk.
got famous by smashing the window of the car. I'm pretty sure he
Oh,
said
was,
after.
he was well famous before that.
He was
No. But I mean, sorry, he didn't get famous. He got the car more publicity because everyone was talking about it.
But was that good publicity? I think it was bad publicity.
There is.
I think it was
There's a
good.
thing where it's
He
like,
said
there's
it
no
was
such thing as
Yeah.
bad publicity.
Yeah.
He
'Cause
said
I-
that he did that on purpose after. There's actually a tweet from him saying that he did
Oh,
that.
that's just him covering.
Maybe it's just him
Well, yeah,
covering
it could be
it.
him covering, but anyway,
Yeah.
he got a lot more people looking at the car.
Yeah.
And he said it did make him more money, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, of course it did.
So,
But do you think if say Greta Thunberg, I don't know, she brought someone else to do the whole logistics, like say that the guy who built the robot to pick up plastic, do you think that could be a really big step? If she, for example, would take, I don't know, if she would unite or get more
Yeah,
supporters,
yeah,
like
support
make
and
some
stuff,
party
yeah.
or something.
I
Like
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she hasn't actually done anything. Like she hasn't created anything.
Yeah.
She's only
She's
raised
obviously
awareness.
she's started like a movement, which is that's hard enough. Like
yeah,
not anybody can do that, but she hasn't done anything where it's actually gonna make a difference in the long run. Like people are gonna be like more aware of it, yeah, but are those people smart enough to do anything about it?
that's the
They're
question.
about like pretty much all of her supporters are people that just don't want to go to school. Like,
Yeah,
and that's about it. Like they don't really care.
yeah.
But your man, like I don't even know his name. The one that you're talking about that can pick the plastic out of the
Plastic,
ocean.
yeah.
He's actually done something. He's created something that could like help solve the problem.
Yeah.
But like before Jake mentioned that, I'd never even heard of that. Like,
And she has so many followers that if she did even say stuff about him a few times,
yeah,
like, then people would get to know him, and then people would say donate for him to make more of those. And
yeah,
then it would actually turn into this big thing where we are clearing out the ocean. But when she's just up there kind of giving talks and like saying, oh yeah, the world is getting worse and worse. Like it's not doing, like it's
Raising
awareness. But that's not
not really
actually
solving a problem.
solving a problem.
yeah. And do you think that's what's like missing from her basically? That's why maybe she's just
Yeah.
raising awareness and awareness.
she's
I
not
think-
actually
yeah.
solving a problem.
not
I think if
actually
she doesn't even, like she doesn't even have to make something that'll help the world. Like she doesn't have
She
it.
just needs to support.
Yeah,
she
she
needs
doesn't
to,
have an
she needs to
answer,
publicize that. She needs
Yeah.
to bring attention to it, and then it'll be like it'll gain publicity, and then people will actually start using it and like call for action.
Yeah.
But people at the moment are just calling for action with no actual like way to fix it. They're just telling the governments, do something about it.
And her just saying like,
Yeah.
But they're
stop
not
using
producing
straws.
anything. Like stop using straws. Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant! Yeah, nice. Like you got McDonald's to use paper straws, but like that doesn't really mean anything.
Exactly.
And people only did that not because, like, there's way more worse plastic stuff, but people did that because of the turtles. Not
Oh
because
yeah,
of,
the turtles.
they just
yeah.
felt bad for the turtles. That's why straws got so big rather than, say, like, anything else, which is even bigger than a straw.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you- this thick piece of plastic, but
Yeah.
they say, no, let's stop using straws.
Yeah, no, I mean that's completely fair. Like, I completely understand that. Reece, I haven't heard from you in a while.
Any
Go
questions
on.
you want to ask me?
Yeah. So, do you think that the government should subsidize more?
Example.
So, for example, like, take the Irish government. Do you think he's raising enough? Do you think maybe he's raising awareness, but do you think he's actually trying to solve this, or is
Well, didn't the Irish government declare a national what, emergency?
Yeah.
just, did he? Yeah.
It was like last year.
Do you think that's going to impact, or is just like
Well, no.
yeah?
I think he just like, I think the government just did that just to say they did that. But I don't think
Yeah.
they're actually like pushing that.
To push it, yeah. Like, why do you think countries like Scandinavians, like Sweden, Finland, Norway, and Denmark are so good?
Wait, what were you saying?
Yeah. So, like, I was just asking, why do Scandinavian countries seem to have better? Like, they're more aware, and they seem to do. There's like renewable energy is more
Well,
prominent and things like
You know,
that.
Sweden's like is known for that. Like, I think like 97% of the cars there are electric now.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why
Really?
it comes out there. Yeah.
But that's because of their government. Like their
Yeah,
government
yeah.
have grants and stuff, and they give like kind of tax rebates, isn't it? Where
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
if you buy an electric car, and they encourage companies to buy the cars, like so companies will actually save money, and people just use company cars, which is so much better. And like the employment there is so much better. It's just so much better of a system over there.
Then here.
Yeah, and that's because they organized it way before anybody else. Like they had their whole thing organised, and they were willing to put in money for the long run, whereas people in, say, Ireland are just trying to solve the problems for now. So say homelessness,
Yeah.
like that's a big thing in Ireland.
That's true.
But that's you're trying to solve the people that are homeless now, but you're not trying to like prevent people from becoming homeless. You're just sort of like putting
It's like a quick fix with something.
exactly.
really
It's a quick
problem.
fix, but you're not actually
It's not-
doing much
yeah.
for like to stop the problem from happening.
That's a really fair point, because like if you look at it economically, I don't think Ireland's quite a wealthy country. It's a developed country. I mean, so is Sweden. Like if you look at it, there shouldn't really be a reason as to why Irish government is not doing as well as Swedish government. I mean, they
Yeah.
have same amount of money.
It's just
More or less.
time. Like they did it way ahead of everybody else, and those kind of Nordic countries, they were just really smart about it. Where we're trying to come up with quick fixes for all these problems, and they did this like 30 years ago.
Yeah,
where
they were looking into the long term.
they were looking
Yeah.
into the long. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, yeah. But do you think it also comes from, like, in terms of education system, do you think that they're more educated, like maybe their system's
Probably.
better, maybe
Yeah,
people are more
they
creative?
definitely are.
I think statistically they're the best in Europe.
Yeah, I think
There's
they are.
system.
Sweden
Yeah.
is.
Sweden or
Yeah, do you think, I think personally, but like I think the education also quite influences, like in terms of climate, raising awareness. I mean, we're always told the climates, but I mean it's not really enforced that much.
No.
I mean, maybe some actions like clean up week or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
it's not really enforced.
All we had when we were younger, like, was reduce, reuse, recycle. Like,
Yeah.
remember that?
yeah.
That was it. Like, apart from that, with the safe cross code, and that's it. But that's nothing
Yeah.
to do with like
Yeah, really.
climate change. That's all I remember from primary school in
Yeah.
terms of like big schemes that they tried to do, and the food dudes. I remember.
And like giving us the green flag to be like, oh, we're a great school.
We're
Yeah, exactly.
We
We're
kick up our
reducing
leader,
in our plastic and
But
stuff.
like that, literally nobody had any idea what was going on.
Yeah,
we
nobody-
just went up to
we
watch
just
the
went up
flag
and watched them
going
put a
up.
flag. And I'm pretty sure ours is hanging off.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Like they literally don't mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't.
There's no meaning behind it. Where in countries in Scandinavia, that like it actually kind of means something for them to have that kind of qualification, and it's just a lot better over there. Everything's
Yeah.
well better run.
No, that's true. And yeah, like everything's, I think the system is a really big thing, and I think our system in Ireland, I know it's socialist, but I don't think it's like a proper
Yeah.
socialist system. That's it. And if you had to, like, if you say had the chance to meet up with the leaders of Ireland, like say you got to meet, like had a huge presentation, you were invited, and you can make a pitch, and you had 5 minutes to convince them that they had to change or they had to do something, what would you say?
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a lot of
I don't
pressure.
know. I'd have to think
I
about
really
that.
have this sheet that
And what is that sheet?
What's
well,
that?
thank Kilian for providing it.
Yeah.
It just shows the stats of when half a degree of like the annual like temperature of the water, I think.
Yeah.
What's this? Is the water?
That is so sea ice freezing and how it's reducing and extreme heat.
It's just
So it's like a really informative
yeah, it
sheet
shows different.
provided by UNICEF Ireland, which is
Shout out UNICEF.
Yeah, shout out UNICEF.
Yeah, that's
They're
good.
really good. They
UNICEF.
raise awareness and they're all about action too. They're not all just talk, but like they really promote their youth to take some action and bring awareness and also try and solve the problems. So Jake, what would you do if I say I gave you a little bit extra time, 15 minutes? What you have to like? What would you tell them?
To the Irish government.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't actually know what I'd say, because I wouldn't. If it was a worldwide thing, I wouldn't be saying it to the Irish government. I'd be saying it to, say, Chinese or to the
UN.
to the
UN.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
like
to the UN.
really big people, like to the big.
To the big, like the bigger kind of
Yeah, the
corporation.
bigger-
On a bigger scale.
On a
Well,
bigger scale.
Ireland
Yeah.
is a tiny island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Ireland could actually do. Maybe if for 5 or 10 years, if all of Ireland just completely committed to this, maybe it make a small difference. But like with what China did.
In the large scale, like worldwide scale, if Ireland did it, it wouldn't mean anything. Like there are, I think there's something like 17 cities in China
Yeah.
with over 10 million, and we have Ireland, which is like approaching 5 million. Literally half the amount as like their smaller cities,
Yeah.
which is just insane.
Yeah.
So like us doing something, while it is important that we take action, it's not as important as somewhere like China, where it's just such a massive scale of people. So if everybody there made a change, it would make a difference. It would make a visible difference.
Yeah.
So would you rather talk to the Chinese government than the Irish government? And just
They probably have me killed.
Yeah, that's also another problem. Those countries don't believe in it.
Chinese.
Not even that. The Chinese government is just like they just silence
The
everyone.
Chinese.
they just silence everyone. Like for example, the doctor that found the coronavirus.
Oh,
that's a
yeah,
big
he got
thing.
killed.
He didn't get killed. He died from the coronavirus. But he was telling them.
That's what people. That's what
he
they
was
say.
telling them for months that. Oh, Mr. Lacey. He was telling them for months that this was a big problem. Like this was going to be a big problem. Like it's going to be a worldwide problem if they don't contain it. And they just ignored him. Like they ignored him for so long, and it turned out to be a big problem. Now I'm sure people go to them, like to the government, and go like, "Oh, this is going to be a big problem."
Yeah.
But like, it actually was, and there was evidence of it. And now it's happened, and they weren't able to contain it. And it's like the government. Remember, they were like faking the amount of people that actually had it for a while because they didn't want people thinking like, oh, this is actually going to turn into an epidemic.
Yeah.
And now it's close to it's spread to so many countries because they just didn't lock them down. And it's just the Chinese government is really bad.
Or if they even warn
that's
people.
illegal.
Actually,
Like say if I was saying this and I lived in China, I just wouldn't I couldn't say it.
the coronavirus made it's actually helped the climate change because since they closed the airports down in China, now the fog's clearing up.
It's actually
Oh.
That's actually
because
And,
Chinese people are
and
dying.
no one's going to work anymore, so they're not driving out anymore.
That's mad.
That's actually so positive
go
mindset.
coronavirus.
Positive
Let's go
coronavirus. Coronavirus. Yeah, I'll save that for another day. The coronavirus. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But just to wrap this up, I'd like to thank everybody who's involved in this. I'd like to thank Keen Wally.
Thank you,
Thank you, Keen Wally.
Yeah, he's also a UNICEF activist. I'd like to thank Mark Donovan for his great contribution.
I just talk forever.
Yeah. No, it was really good. And I'd like to thank Reece Macarulay for his very smart comments. And I'd also like to thank Jake Nourse with taking a positive perspective, and of course Jake Dempsey for supervising the whole thing. And thank you, and wait till next time. And like and subscribe. Yeah, thank you.